economy. But this is a great map, again, for the CT side for a force buy. You can do a lot with it. We'll see if they go for it. And indeed, they will get the scout out on Cirque. And I've got to say, I've seen Cirque be quite the menace and causing all kinds of issues for pretty much any team on pretty much any map when he's got a scout in his hands on the CT side in a situation like this. Crush also picking up the scout as well. So there's a lot here for Mousesports to be cautious about. And it looks like they may be thinking about an inner play, at least looking to take control of Brown Horse for now and just keep things under control. Everyone is more or less together, so it's looking really safe for Mousesports. Looking for that bomb plant on the B site. EG might not get many opportunities to get in any scout shots here, James.
Well, I would expect a rotation with Tarek's forward position with the CZ. Let's see, we've got a grenade streaming in now. As Stan starts to fall back, there's a meaty grenade scene. High jump from Frozen. Seems like he'll get the 9.5 for that one. Cirque taken out of the back of the train yard. And that's going to be the round over. Again, so key for a T side to take the entire train yard. Really limits the options for Evil Geniuses and encourages a save.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see Mousesports take this approach. It's very hard for the CTs to deny that bomb plant on the B site. And once the bomb's down, it's unlikely there'll be a kit. It's just very difficult to retake with the pistols and the scouts. And too many times do we see, I think, teams going for that Ivy play where they're all walking together down this very long choke point and you're still nowhere near a bomb site, even if you get through it. And that's very dangerous. But indeed, Mousesports will avoid the scouts for now. However, as you mentioned, Crush will be hanging on to one, and it looks like EG will be safe to save some weapons here. It'll be interesting to see if EG can get any damage off in the next rounds, and to see whether or not Mousesports will just run the same round once again. They absolutely can, especially with two of the players dead. That's even if Mousesports were to, EG were to stack 5 players on the B site with the right use of utility, still should be very favorable for Mousesports.
These odds from EGB make a lot of sense. Again, Mousesports 85% on train at present. So everything's in its right place in that respect. We'll see if those odds change as the map continues. 2-0 for Mousesports on the T side. And EG, again, they'll have almost a reset of the previous situation. They have the choke points to begin with, but of course, now there are 2 USPs in tow, so there's less danger in some ways. Got Evil Geniuses getting close to that A main position, as you can see. Chris J voids a flashbang. He can fall back. We've got some map control. Attempted, but Rops will deny Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, Mousesports doing a good job just dodging those forward plays by EG, trying to find a way to catch them off guard with a pop flash or similar. And Crush, tanked by that scout of Woxic earlier on Ivy, is looking like he's going to be in quite a predicament. Oh, the jumping Mac 10 from Frozen will easily finish off him. And Tarek has a lot to worry about right here. The flames, and he will get sandwiched as well in the sandwich position. Very fitting. Let's just stand with the USP. Not much to really say about it. I'm liking the chatterbox Galil on Carrigan there. Good choice. Best Galil skin.
Well, let's see if Stan can get any damage done here. Just maim the economy. Oh, the HE. Again, a HE, if you've got no armor, HE can just kill you, straight up kill you. In 2 hits, 101 damage is possible, but never mind. 3-0 for Mousesports. Evil Geniuses will have the AWP straight off the bat on Cirque, starting with everything in its right place, at least in terms of the first buy round. 4 M4s around it, no AUGs to be seen. I'm sure they'll look to pick up some Kriegs later on, but for now it'll be Galil for the most part. Frozen will have a Krieg. Woxic will continue on the scout. The T side keeping the money together. Can use this as a bonus round, even if they lose it. If they can do a fair chunk of damage and then capitalize on that in the next round, then that can pay off as well. Quite a lot of ifs there. They will focus, of course, on winning this round in stylish fashion. Stan will start alone in the B-bomb site. As we can see on the radar, Crush and Cirque have made a forward play with rifle support deep in Ivy, and that might leave Stan alone for a while.
Yeah, he is alone. He's done some good damage here, picking up 1 kill, playing that angle towards Sign Ali there. Is able to survive for a moment longer before getting taken down, but he's doing some damage here. 3v3 after all is said and done, but the bomb will be planted. Carrigan trying to contest some forward map control on the B site. It is difficult, though. The CTs will be able to find their way through Connector, and even a boost here. Love this from Cirque. Oh, he whiffs the shot, though, and now they know what's up. Carrigan is the one that's close, and he is waiting for his moment to strike. This is taking some serious time here, and Carrigan's going to get a couple. That's great there from him, and now Cirque just has to go for the save with the AWP. It's like Mousesports have done enough here. Maybe not. Circle will pick off Carrigan before all is said and done.
Yeah, it's really important he holds onto that AWP, but Woxic has angles towards Ivy, so if he heads there... Okay, Woxic won't have the right angle. Sure, Cirque spotted him, but there's no need to take that duel. Again, so important he holds onto this scope. Might be a very late attempt from Woxic, but Cirque will smartly hide there. So there's a 4-0 from Mousesports. Another execute into the B bomb site. Smokes up around connector, make it hard for EG to get through the choke point. You saw Carrigan moving away from the usual positions, avoiding the pre-fire from Ethan through the smoke, and then moving into a more aggressive position as they ran out of grenades, Mousesports, to just making things even worse for Evil Geniuses. A 0-4 start for the team with the big numbers on train. And they've got some upgrades now. Last round it was 1 Krieg, this round it's 3 with the AK, and now Woxic has an AWP instead of a Scout.
Yeah, definitely hard times have befallen EG early on train him in this series. Mousesports hot after that Avangard 3 mapper.
Versus Pro, Dan.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it's going to take me a while to get used to that one. Roberts looking to find the player. Tarek by E-Box, he'll be successful. Carrigan will go down for the effort as Mousesports start to push forwards here, looking to get that out of control, and they might just get it. That Molotov will force some of the players back towards camera here. It's rather crowded by Ethan's position. Almost 3 players standing around there by camera, but looks like Mousesports will fall back a little bit. And they have control of Brown Halls here as well. It's just Stan who's close by, and once again, he may be isolated by the entire Mousesports team once again.
This is a pretty cool position, though. If you tell your teammates that they could make their way down the ramp and no one goes upper, then this becomes very, very strong. You can play for the W, but Chris J is very aware that no one has checked that position. Great awareness from Chris J. If he doesn't look up there in the right time, then that could end in absolute disaster. The play was pretty cool from Stan in that respect. Just let your teammates know, lower is wide open. I'm just keeping hold of upper. If they plant the bomb, then we've got a great retake scenario. If they did plant the bomb without checking and he takes 1 frag and then just hides, that's a huge problem for Mousesports. But Mousesports won't allow that to happen. Crush will try to hold on to this AWP, but it looks like Rops will be on the way, and he will be denied by the likes of Woxic. 5-0 Mousesports.
Yeah, they're playing really well. And I have to say, there's a huge credit right now to Carrigan's calling. I think he's been calling excellent rounds so far. Against the first buy round, we just saw a burst. Again, at the early timing of the round on the B-bomb side, and it was just Stanislaw there. Stan did a really good job delaying. He got 2 kills, and Mousesports still won the round. So massive credit to how they executed that. And, you know, then following that, they were able to mix up their anti-force buys and anti-eco rounds pretty effectively. We saw it, you know, in that previous round. They were threatening heavily towards that A-bomb site, and then they kind of switched things up. It just seems very snappy, the calling, and just kind of everybody's on the same page on Mousesports. It seems like they're all thinking together here, and this is really good to see. A very cohesive unit right now is Mousesports, and that's a lot to contest against if you're EG, and they'll get their best buy that we've seen so far in the 5 rounds of play. Obviously, it's not been that many yet, but this will be the best buy of EG. So let's see if they can change their fortunes here now in this one.
Woxic looking towards top sign with the AWP. Tarek very quickly down the stairs into the ladder room. Chris J swinging out as he often does. He's notorious for this post being primary sniper on Mousesports, but quickly traded by Crush, who's around the Ivy position. He's got Tarek near Sandwich as well. Very important position to hold for the Evil Geniuses side, or any CT side. Again, Stan will be entrusted with the B-bomb site. And we can see that Carrigan starting to lurk out, but through the middle of the towers, he'll be taken out by Stan, who goes back for the burst and sprays onto Rops, doing a great job on the B-bomb site in this round. And that puts EG in a 4 versus 2.
Tarek's in a perfect position here. They have no idea that he's there. The spray through might be good for the second one to finish off the round. Frozen, I think Tarek knows he is there. He's going to switch out for the AWP. And indeed, position now for Frozen is known. And Frozen's job here is to do some damage. Can he get an extra kill or 2? The economy for Mousesports is still pretty decent. He may want to not give up another Krieg. That's also something he may be thinking about. And he will be falling back here. So it looks like he will just try to keep hold of this and play it slow, steady, and safe as he possibly can. And I had the this might be a moment to mention. I had the fortune to
win the lottery.
I'm not yet, unfortunately, but to chat with Carrigan on the podcast. It really recorded that yesterday, and we were talking about the Kriegs a little bit and a bunch of other stuff, of course. And he was saying how it's the case that they prefer Mousesports prefer to only bring them into play kind of in the middle of their T half or so, once they know that the CT's economy is up and running. And look at this, Frozen's found some pretty big damage. And look at the timing of the round. He dies just before time, which is perfect. The AWP will be recovered, but that's a great pickup. Oh, actually, the AWP is not recovered.
It seems they were in two minds there because he went towards T-spawn to save, but of course the money was together for the team for a full buy in the next round. So I did wonder if they were being conservative because he's carrying the Krieg, or if he just chose to save himself. But then again, you saw, you know, this is a chance for us to do damage, make it expensive for the CTs. Don't give them all that money for free. So maybe there was more to be done there, but he got a nice kill. Anyway, it's 5-1 now. EG have found their way onto the scoreboard, and they are well equipped once again. There's a Krieg for Ethan and for Stan. Might be a sigh of relief for Mousesports that there's no breeze to have a Krieg, but Tarek is there by Sandwich once again. Mousesports focusing towards the Ivy area. Molotov to slow their approach. Smoke is up as well, so things will start to slow down. On this occasion, EG have two players in the B bomb site. Ethan's on the high ground, that kind of lurk area where Stan was previously. So we'll see how that plays out later on.
Frozen has a lot to do here to try to get through this Ivy position. You know, they were trying to get Carrigan to play into the Hell area, which would really have worked out with this Ivy push, but now they have to do it without that, and it's looking very difficult because look at all the CTs just aiming towards the Ivy position. There's no distraction anywhere else on the map here. Mousesports have really put themselves in a bad position. Now, they don't have to commit to this Ivy aggression, and indeed, Frozen will start to back away. If you're going to go through Ivy in a situation like this, you have to have the distraction from somewhere else. You can't have all the crosshairs of the CTs pointing towards that choke point. It's too difficult to deal with. So we see Mousesports switching up the gear, rotating back and trying something different, moving through T main here. And you can see on the minimap, there's three CTs sitting on the bomb train. This will be extremely difficult for Mousesports.
Yeah, I like the approach from EG. 5 versus 3. Let's play to our advantages. Not choosing engagements, but Chris J still alive. 6 HP. There's still damage to be done. 25 seconds. Time is of the essence here for Mousesports, as there are plenty of EG players around connector and the bomb site. Again, 1 in connector and 3 on the bomb site itself. Chris J going for a desperation plant. Is he going to survive? Somehow he's still alive. Just about denied the bomb plant. Woxic post plant would have been insane, but that half-second change is absolutely everything.
Yeah.
But I love the play from EG. They played retake on the B bomb site, deep and far behind, forcing Mousesports to points of no return to engage EG on the A bomb sites.
Yeah, and you're completely right. It was such an interesting situation. It looked like it was fairly hopeless, but if the bomb did get planted, it's Woxic in that 1v3. I mean, he picked off one. Maybe it's 1v2.
It's Woxic full stop. You just can make no assumptions. But I think Mousesports were unlucky there. I think they caught EG off guard with how deep they were on Ivy. With Tarek next to the ladder room position, he probably should have gone down there, especially with a Kree coming up Ivy. But you know, that would have been a nice opening. Instead, we saw a dramatically different opening to that round after that incident.
So here it's a hodgepodge buy for Mousesports. Couple rifles, and that's about it. So we'll see what they can do with it. Looking to get at least some economic damage, like 2-3 kills would be great, or a bomb plant, but so far, no dice. Although they've actually got 3 players down to a 10 to 20 HP. That is not good for EG. We'll have to see if Mousesports can build on that. Frozen has crept his way forwards towards the Hell position, looking for a sneaky frag, but he can't see anything just yet. That smoke will dissipate, and it doesn't appear to be the case that they know he's there. Crush will check the position, but he's one of the very weak players.
You've seen him.
Frozen has a chance to maybe get a kill. Woxic does try to distract them. Frozen looking like he can't find anything just yet, though. Just holding the pace for now.
Yeah, Crush knows someone's in that Hell position, or was. So that's some information, but there's still 2 other players to be found. Okay, well, the numbers will be too great for EG, it seems. Well, for Mousesports, rather. The numbers of EG will be too great. Rops now in a 1 versus 4, and Ethan will take him out as he emerges beyond the smoke grenade. So, Mousesports' success has been stunted by Evil Geniuses, who now have 3 rounds of 8 on their CT side, with a stand-in, of course, in Crush. I do wonder if he has to communicate with different callouts and so on, that might cause half-a-second delay, which may be the difference between a frag or getting fragged. So that'll be an interesting challenge for EG to deal with. But of course, in this era of FPL and such, I think the callouts might be more common than people think, since English is the international language of Counter-Strike.
It's not a bad recovery, all things considered. kept the Krieg in hand as well for Tarek, and the money's. This is a good opportunity if they win this one to build that money, but it's also that spot where Mousesports could take the momentum back, as EG are in that position where they haven't yet built up any monetary security, any financial security. So we'll see what Mousesports can do with it. And they've been fairly quick with their pacing so far, so I wonder if we'll see a change with that pace. Looks like they're running towards the inner bomb site already. Tarek is in position. He's usually found outside, so he's really mixing things up here. The second player there will immediately be traded. Now, do Mousesports commit to their initial plan towards the B bomb site, or with that pick, do they decide to play it differently? Looks like they're going to commit here into that B site. The flashbang just enough to stop Stark from connecting the shot.
Yeah, they know Stan's the man who mainly plays the B bomb site from what they've seen so far, and that's him taken out. But Ethan's here as well, as is Cirque. One to the face by Rops, and the numbers are still close. Woxic now delivering as the bomb is planted. They're able to escape, create some space with the smoke grenades. But where does Woxic peak? Being so close to the smoke, it's so dangerous to start swinging. Starting to move in now, EG on the left-hand side from Woxic's POV. Frozen's up on the high ground in the meantime, so Woxic's forced forward because no one's covering his left-hand side. So he just has to try and read the right time to move, sees the trajectory, he knows one CT is behind him. Crush looks to touch the bomb. Frozen ready to creep, but Woxic has the angles by Oil, and Circa's surely been outmaneuvered now. Has a kit, but there's no way he's going to defuse this bomb.
Yeah, you're completely right, James. There's such a good understanding from Woxic of the timings. They're understanding that the CTs have to be moving in the time in which he's not seeing anybody covering his angles. It's a pretty good bet that there's a CT somewhere that has to be closing distance towards the site because they have to defuse the bomb. So what a great repositioning from Woxic. Very smart stuff. I have to say from Woxic on the Dust 2 game we saw previously as well against VP, not Avangard anymore. I'm really impressed by how Woxic, and a very explosive player, he's getting better and better at knowing when he should chill in very intense situations.
Goodbye for both teams. However, one thing to be noted is Tarek has a scout in this round. Crush with the MP9 has used his. Woxic ready for the push from Cirque. Oh my god. Don't go to Ivy.
What is that?
Great presence. He's expecting rifle support. Goes for the shot through the smoke, and the angle is absolutely perfect. Just like that, it's a 4 versus 2. Frozen wide swings well ahead of Woxic, and he, of course, will just run out with the AWP and deliver that final kill. 7 rounds for Mousesports. But it's just great game sense from Woxic. The AWP pushing for a smoke like that, there's got to be rifle support somewhere. Takes a shot in case he's got a lineup, and he does.
To be fair as well, it's such a narrow choke point that there's a fairly good bet, as you say, James. If someone's there, you might get a connection. It's definitely not out of the line of questioning. So it's, I mean, how can you not be a fan of Woxic? How can you not be a fan of his style of play? It is fantastic to watch him.
It's not too shabby.
Like how crushing the round wins have been for EG. Their money's completely gone. Flashbang does its job. Even takes Flash's Carrigan, but he's still got the angle, so it's all good.
Man like Rops coming out of the ladder room.
Yeah.
Forcing Crush away. Carrigan knows that there was a person who threw the flashbang, but he's just charging through. Minimal investment. He's expendable, and he will be expended, it seems. Rops has to be careful, though. 2 HP. Doesn't want to give a rifle to his opponent. So where does he choose to go? Because he's vulnerable to the bomb plant as well. In fact, he is near T-spawn, just hiding in a very unusual position while the rest of his teammates, with the side plant, head towards the CT spawn area. Now, Crush might have a chance to take a weapon away here. I think that's the main story, but Rops will take him out, as you can see in the kill feed. And Stan is left to try and get some bonus money with the MAC-10 and maybe steal a weapon away if somebody goes to the wrong position. But this is starting to look like a very strong T-half now. We saw some flashes from Evil Geniuses, but it seems that those will be diffused in the short term, at the very least, by Mousesports.
Yeah, Mousesports, not only is this stylistically a fantastic matchup for them, I think of all of the most elite teams in the world, this is obviously the most dominating stylistic matchup in favor of Mousesports. But, I've got to say, I just love how polished they're looking at the moment. One thing to note from that round very quickly is the fact that they give themselves the options by having a couple players poking towards the A site whilst the bomb is moving with 2 other players to support the bomb towards the B site. And those players towards A get the information as to what's going on, and they can decide then whether to commit the bomb or not. And so they give themselves options as opposed to just pushing all the chips over the line. So I really enjoy that approach on the anti-ecos, respecting the other team and playing it correctly. Mousesports doing all the right things right now.
Elbow. Stan fires a shot, but not much of a connection. if any. In fact, none. Rops lurking by Ivy, admiring the smoke grenade for now, and there might be smokes lined up by Mousesports above the B bomb site. Carrigan playing with the mouse wheel. Chris J considering having a look up top. Rops will continue to be a nuisance. It looks like he's going to bounce a molly on one side, maybe a smoke on the other later on, to deny information and cause concern for evil geniuses. We don't have all the information in the world, but they're still keeping 2 players in the B bomb site, so no nervous over-rotations here from EG.
It's a pretty cool setup as well. I wonder if this will be predicted by Mousesports, the rotation of Stan, or if they'll think that he'll be playing towards the side alley instead. Rops has, in the meantime, crept further out towards Ivy as Circa is looking for that. We might just catch him here. There's the shoulder. Cirque will annihilate Rops, and that's going to trigger the push here towards the B site. Stan there. Oh, he's just looking away. That's not going to be all that ideal, is it? Oh, this is looking good, though, still. Woxic is doing so much damage. He might just save this round. He's going to kill 3 more players, but somehow it feels doable if it's Woxic.
Maybe not, though, because Tarek has a perfect position, and Woxic will not be able to deal with that. That's a really brutal situation. Every second is so precious because those CTs are charging in to stop that plant. Overwhelmed, and EG get another round on the board. 2 AWPs now rather than an AWP and a scout for EG in this round. They are very well equipped. So we'll see what they're able to do. We see some shortcomings here from Mousesports. Carrigan on the Galil now. Rest of the team on AK is frozen, of course, with that Krieg once again, and Woxic has his big green gun. So this is a big round for both sides as we head towards the end of the first half. And again, there's more pressure towards Ivy from Mousesports.
To see what they can do with it this time. One of the previous rounds where they tried to go for an Ivy play, they had Carrigan running out to hell. He didn't make it, though, which made things quite uncomfortable for Mousesports in that round. Taking it a little bit more slow this time, not going so aggressive towards the outside just yet. Frozen is watching for that push. Carrigan's just, oh my god, with the Galil no less. Carrigan peeking out, they get the double, that's going to trigger things. And now Cirque on top of the green train has everything to do, and he is doing everything, but Chris J's there to stop it, and now it's the 1v1.
Where is Stan? He has absolutely no idea. He knows he's a B player. Have to think about the potential routes he's likely to rotate into. And that bomb has to be rescued. Oh, he's just missed a shot there. Very common peek towards the Olofmeister's position. Chris J trying to catch the rotation as he looks to source the bomb location. Here we go. You can see Stan is rotated through B. He's going for the long con, it seems. Krieg is collected by Chris J. Again, it's just complete guesswork for him, but he's got 40 seconds to guess. But soon Stan will hear these footsteps. You can see him heading towards the ladder position, and who knows where Chris J will go. Stan's got a bit more walking to do. I think he may have had his gun out previously, but now he knows that he can pull out the knife. Chris J, which way is he going to face? He's got a 50-50 towards main and ladder room. Oh my god, the fadeaway. NBA Jam as EG make their way to round number 5.
Oh my god, I don't think Stan even realized he hit that shot. He's pulling out the AWP there, that's very fortunate. But that will be 5 rounds collected on the CT side now for EG, and that's something. It is obviously, it's been a perilous half for EG so far. It's been difficult to find the rounds, and it's certainly seemed to be the case that Mousesports have made great calls. But EG, you know, really leaning on that individual skill. We saw a great display from Cirque there on top of the green train. It's not easy to do. And it has really ruined the money situation for Mousesports. You can see they're on a Galil once again and some CZs. It's going to be tough for them here.
Yeah, this is a great chance for EG to keep the score close at half-time. Chris J is going to just walk to his doom. Crush ready to deal with Ivy, but there are more players on the way. 3, in fact. Carrigan running distraction. Found an angle on Tarek. Rung his bell, but he's still alive. 3 HP. Mousesports could look for angles once the smoke has gone, but maybe Crush will catch them first. Can have help from Stan quickly on the bomb side as well, I think. There's the bomb spotted. Crush falls back for the reload. 2 players low now for EG. But it's only Robson, Frozen remaining. They do have dangerous weapons, but there's so many numbers alive. That gun won't be retrieved anytime soon. 1 minute on the clock. Only 1 player seen at this point by EG towards Ivy. They're not really sure where Ops might be lurking just yet.
Yeah, and it seems like, you know, they're really outgunned here and outmatched, but you know, these are 2 very, very good players, and you know, we've seen stuff like this happen before EG need to try to maintain the integrity of their numbers in this one. They don't really need to move from their positions. Tarek with the 3 HP is going to go on a fact-finding investigation. He's got the clipboard out, and he's not going to like what he sees, or maybe he does. I don't know how that works out for him with 3 HP, but it somehow works out perfectly as they line up, and he will take them down with that FAMAS. So 6-8 as that eco round has been dealt with, but now, once again, comes the buy for Mousesports, and EG, they could really make a half of this. They could actually get 7 rounds out of this.
Quite the lineup there for Tarek. I like that potential sacrifice to get the info and finish off the job. Went better than he could have expected, I'm sure. And indeed, we are into that last round of the first half now. Gilil once again, this time for Chris J. Cirque has plenty of targets, and Tarek is fishing as well. Catches Chris J with a grenade in his hand. Carrigan will trade, but he's low already. 18 HP for him. 4 versus 4 there. This may favour Mousesports in the long run. Stan once again is on the high ground towards B, left alone as there are 3 players to deal with. It's a bomb site. Cirque taking Rops out. Frozen, Carrigan and Woxic trying to get through this choke point. Carrigan has for the time being, but Crush will surely deal with him soon. There we go. That's a beautiful swing from him. Straight in the head and dead.
This is going to be so hard now for Frozen and Woxic. No AWP in play now, just Woxic with the AK-47. And there's players all around him. Oh my god. He's got some information, but that might not do him too much good. That's a nice headshot to start things off, but 3 more players to find here. The AWP in Cirque's hands is also going to be a difficult thing to contest. And Woxic will force to, if he's going to try to fake it there, he's going to go back to the angle, see if he can catch somebody repositioning. As he just threatened a rotation, he might be able to get a reposition out of one of these players, but no, Cirque will be there, ready and waiting. And that's 7 rounds for EG. That's not bad, all things considered. If you look at the way this one started and how strong Mousesports were with the calling, this is a great result for EG with the stand-in.
Yeah, I think that's a really good result, and both the snipers are near the top of the scoreboard or at it, which is great to see as well. More action to come in the second half, I'm sure. Now, I do wonder how much time there has been for Crush to, for example, learn the grenades that he has to throw as part of an execute. Does he have a post-it note? I'm sure everybody knows most of the grenades, but to find the right timing and positioning and so on. Hopefully no mistakes are made here. A few notes from Stan before we start the proceedings as they swap sides. EG with that new logo. I did tweet their CEO and asked them what the idea was behind the rebranding. I didn't get a reply though.
Yeah, I imagine it will become clearer as time goes on. I imagine
and it wasn't like a loaded question, because like with Complexity, for example, I think they actually made an article explaining it and how it relates to Dallas Cowboys and so on, and you can clearly see that. So I was actually curious if they had something like that, but you know, maybe it will come in time. But
yeah, maybe because of the overall response has been a little bit heated, that perhaps they're kind of a bit more. And you know, they're a bit more careful about how they talk about it in the public right now. It's hard to say.
Yeah, there's like 2 choices, right? Either you kind of make an explanation now, just wait for stuff to die down and kind of move on.
Yeah. Either way, it looks pretty good.
It's a big evil, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what they pump out in terms of the branding in the future. See how it all comes together. And right now, they really need to find a way to make their T side come together to have a strong result here. Because Mousesports, you know, they did get that was a really strong half. You know, 8 rounds on the T side of train. You'll always be, you know, ecstatic about that one. And now playing the CT side, especially with the form that the Mousesports players are in, it's going to be difficult for EG. We'll see what the pistol will bring for EG, though. We've got the smoke going out there to the A bomb site as we get everybody going through a ladder pretty much, splitting onto that outer bomb site. And the smokes will guarantee the bomb plant, so that's really important. EG now just have to hold onto this bomb plant.
Vintage strats. Where's the orange bucket? 4 on 4 as the headshots are exchanged. Frozen creeping. Will he get a free one onto Crush? Just about. Cirque defending the ladder position at the moment, but he might have concern of his teammates on the side. Maybe he has to give up his position. I think he does now. Just before the flank comes in, he'll stand his position, but he will be taken out there as well. Stan has the bomb. Oh, it's not planted for him, is it? Oh, that's a lovely one tap. Can he get to Carrigan in time? Carrigan comes off the defuse. He had the kit as well, chasing the frag now. Stan will take him out as Carrigan pursues the issue. And that's a 3K for Stan, and that's a big pistol run for EG. They tie the score, and they've got plenty of advantages in the short term.
I wonder if Carrigan could have made it I wonder if it was the case that, oh, you know, Stan would have had to have hit the first bullet or into the head or something, like, you know, what was the margin of success there for Carrigan in holding the defuse. But either way, we will never know. It is going to be a force buy, of course, from Mousesports. Not seeing a scout, I think that's quite interesting. We'll have to see what Mousesports' strategy is here in terms of their positioning and how they want to try to win this round. Woxic, the only man with anything other than a pistol, the MP9, he's deep on Ivy.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that Crush starts with a Molotov towards Ivy. Towards the initial plan here for... Oh, that's a beautiful burst. Crush is looking like a great addition. A temporary addition to Evil Geniuses, at least on train. Dealing with Ivy very well. That was just a great sequence for one person to play. He had an expectation it was the right one. And he dispatched of Woxic and Chris J in isolation. Marvelous work.
It's such an interesting situation because typically with this matchup, Mousesports have the mental advantage against EG. I don't know if there's been enough head-to-head matches in which there would be a mental block for EG against Mousesports yet, but Mousesports definitely have the advantage. But with a stand-in, there's certainly, there's less pressure on you. So I wonder if that changes anything in terms of that. But looks like EG are able to control the situation pretty well here towards this A bomb site as they push forwards. They're trading effectively. Only one trade was needed to be made for Ethan, and the bomb's now being planted. So effective round here for EG, all things considered. Thanks to Crush, ultimately, I would say. That was a great opening double from him with the UMP, and that really created a great situation for EG.
EG about to take the lead. Nothing to be concerned with just yet, though, from the perspective of Mousesports fans. As we wait for the first full buy of the half. Will they have an AWP? I wonder. They've committed to this force buy, so perhaps not. We'll see when we get there. $450 in the bank right now for Woxic. We'll see what the money is like post-explosion. So it may have AWP, no Kevlar. I do not wish to do the maths, but
yeah, he will.
We won't have long to find out.
He will have just over $5,000 if he does a complete full save here. So this should be somewhat of a nothing round. You never know in CS, but...
Get a flashbang. Oh, they're getting a bit more than that.
That's cool. Frozen will be looking to be the power player for Mousesports with that Mag 10 and the Kevlar. Well, Robs is dead. Lots of confidence in a round like this for EG. They know they're up against pretty much almost a full save. Now it's Cirque's turn to make some money. There's one dink, not the second though. Cirque will survive, and he'll get that precious SMG bonus. Just always nice for an AWPer.
Ooh, there we go. That's a nice upgrade. And now he has a lot he could potentially save here, but he could go for it as well. Two players in a very tight choke point, and he's got himself an AK-47. Oh, Woxic got a ladder. There's one. That is so awkward. They have no idea there's two. Just in time, Frozen does a 180. 27 HP for Ethan. Now he's got to be the bait. But they will realize that you can see Frozen trying to create some space for himself. So he can concentrate on this. Ethan falls back, but where are the other two? Frozen has to be aware of this. One by Old Bomb. He's exposed. And down he goes. That one would have been fun. And it was for a short time. But it will go the way it should. 10 for Evil Geniuses to the 8 of Mousesports. And indeed, Woxic has 5,400. So we will see the AWP on deck.
Wow. That was almost very crazy. Okay, the double AWP straight away.
Double. It's Chris J who's naked.
Not pulling any punches with that double AWP buy. Oh, EG, are they going to burst in there? That would be quite interesting. It could catch Mousesports off guard entirely. It's just Rops there. He is, of course, the anchor of the B-bomb side, as he always has been. And much like Stan on the first half, he may be in for quite a treat here from the T side.
Massive anchor.
He is getting an assist, actually. Chris J's rotated. It seems as though Mousesports have an inkling as to what's going on, and here comes the push.
That's a very nice save from Chris J. Rops' close right is dealt with. Molotov's flying through, but Chris J still has his angle. Rops has done his job, it seems, and now he goes down. Man advantage for Mousesports on the retake. In terms of grenades, they got smokes for the choke points and a HE as well, which could be fatal if it lands towards Cirque. Frozen on a slow flank. Might have seen Stan now. He starts to fall back. Has he got any idea? I'm not quite sure, but there's the HE. So it won't hit Cirque at the very least. Frozen moves forward and deals with it. And that is a big focus on the back here. And it's just Frozen up there. Everybody else on the site. So they've lost position to some degree. Cirque, has he got 3 kills in him? He can't even throw the Molotov. The CTs have already advanced. That's a great result for Mousesports. They can continue with 2 AWPs in the next round, and they are quickly onto the scoreboard in this second half.
Yeah, they managed to defend that inner push much better than EG were able to when EG were on that CT side on the receiving end of it. So that's obviously a fantastic sign for Mousesports fans. EG is going to be a hard one. That's to be certain. They do have a lot of money to fall back on, though, into the buy in this round. So Cirque will pick up that AWP. And this is an Orpus map. So we'll see what he can do with it. I would imagine that EG will go to a more standard default in this round. And we do see a more standard spread of players. We get Crush moving towards the IV position. Cirque is in team main looking for an AWP pick. He's in close as well. Oh, lots of damage being done. The aggression from Mousesports pays off.
Indeed it does. Frozen taking Ethan out. Made a very important frag there. They still have control at least of A main. Evil Geniuses, 1 man down at the moment. 3 on 3 around the A bomb site with Rops alone towards B. Just worth looking at the radar from round to round to see how Rops changes his position so as not to be predictable. Commonly, you would see CT deeper in that sidewalk position behind the train, but he'll be playing just behind connector, so do not want to telegraph your intentions. 2 AWP still up for Mousesports. EG moving with 2 players towards that IV position. It is being held from inside the site by EG. As you can see, Frozen's going on an investigation mission. He's made his way towards Olafmeister. And even closer to A main he goes. But Tarek has a nice angle. In the meantime, you've got Woxic in CT spawn, so Evil Geniuses may be walking into a trap.
The timing is everything. Oh, he gets that one somehow. Crush looking for the trade. Woxic actually misses the shot. He had a good chance there, but that's an opening now. Tarek creeps out into the E-box position, but there's the flank from Frozen, and there's only 20 seconds left for Crush here to make something happen as he tries to push forwards, and there's simply too much to deal with, and that's Mousesports taking the round. 3 players left alive as well is always good, and even better for Mousesports is that they have now forced a half buy from Evil Geniuses. Their money is not in a good place. They will purchase 3 HEs though, so you may see them nuke a position.
I wonder if that will be the bomb train on A.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
We have seen that commonly targeted, especially against Astralis. So let's have a look. We have seen, there we go, 1, 2, and 3. And there goes Frozen. Thank you for playing, and goodbye. Pop flash from Carrigan towards Ivy. Just about won't see, but probably hears some of EG. A smoke to choke them off for the time being. See how long he holds on here for. Seems he will fall back. Vulnerable to potential pop flash play. You never know. And indeed, Stan does have a flashbang. The only one remaining for EG in this pistol round. This eco round for them. An upgrade found for Carrigan. Here's a HE. If that went in towards A main, that would be very interesting. With 2 T's standing there with no Kevlar.
It's going to be so difficult for EG to get ground towards the side here. Making their there's a big gap. That's making their intentions known towards Ivy. Looking to walk maybe straight through this smoke. EG will burst through with a flashbang. Very, very good. Now they'll make their way towards the bomb train. So they've closed the distance, but there goes the AK ready to spray as Carrigan takes down 2, and the support fire is also perfect from Mousesports. Some damage has been done. 2 have been lost, but the round has been won, and that's the important thing. 11-10 now as Mousesports take the lead, and Evil Genius's momentum has fully ground to a halt.
Nice air raid towards the bomb train there. Very frustrating if you've hopped on there and just been blasted by a shrapnel. You can see the money for, so $5,000 for EG. Now behind. The timeout here while the teams discuss what is to come. Mousesports looking to find comfort on their CT side. Chris J's got 6,100 in the hole, so we'll see how many AWPs taken into this one. Carrigan is one of the few players on the CT side who's picking up the AUG at the moment.
Yep.
Definitely fallen out of favor after the nerfs, but can be seen here and there.
Yeah, it's still really good. And I think, you know, it is a gun which is very reliable in terms of the spray. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense, and he does excellent things with it. I think the rate of fire doesn't feel quite as good, obviously, so that's another thing. But either way, back into it. Going aggressive with that AUG towards the Olofmeister position, sitting in sandwich now, just trying to keep EG at bay if they were to try to make an aggressive way forwards in towards A, as rotation from EG is now coming through towards that Brown Hall's position, looking to go for that B bomb site. And there's two players close there. Oh, Woxic nailed it towards Ivy. EG now, it's all on this B strike.
Chris J's got to be careful. If he stands too deep to the right, the T's will see his shadow and they'll know exactly where he is and he'll get pre-fired. He has Rops here for help, however. And now the footsteps will begin. Chris J. Oh, that's a beautiful spray from Rops. Man like Rops with the spray down from Chris J. Two-man setup. Very simple looking for Mousesports, but absolutely crushing for Evil Geniuses. That play lasted all of about 3 seconds.
Yeah. There's something special about just how clinical Rops is with his mechanics. So precise. It's just amazing to watch. Just so satisfying. All right, so into the next one we go, and it's EG on the pistols now. Forward HEs will be problematic for Ethan, and he will meet his fate at the hands of Frozen. Doesn't seem like there's much going on here now for EG. A pick from Woxic as well. And P250 is just as good. And that seems like a wrap here. Stanley's able to get at least one. But the money is actually out of hand here. Look at that, Mousesports. Everyone's around 10k. That is not good news for EG.
Yeah, that's a strong CT side. Seen some brief rounds. Mousesports looking extremely strong, but by no means is it over. Not just yet. We've got the full buy from Evil Geniuses, Cirque with the AWP, 4 AKs on road. Chris J, though, has a Krieg now on the CT side. And he has the luxury of the choke point. If the flashbangs aren't on point, then many players may meet their demise if they head in his direction. Frozen with some grenades towards that T-Con position. Got to be careful, though, because Cirque is lurking. And out they go, and that's what I'm talking about. Straight into Chris J, spraying through the smoke. The tagging is pretty brutal with that Krieg as well. Frozen now very close to the ladder room. He's got help with the smoke grenade from his teammates. Great unison from Mousesports on the A side of train. Tarek now swinging out, trying to do what he can, but it's not much. At least Crush alone is the last man to fall. 0 kills in that round for Evil Geniuses, and Mousesports just get stronger.
Yeah, this T side is looking quite flat so far for EG. They haven't really found success strategically, tactically or individually. Everything is lacking at this point, and Mousesports are showing their strength. And, you know, one of the issues, obviously, EG already with the stand-in, but even without the stand-in, obviously, the record against Mousesports is wanting.
Very good spirits on the Mousesports side. I haven't seen them that. I mean,
I've never seen Rob smile that much.
Exactly,
before.
yeah, exactly.
like they're always do that.
They're always happy and in good
emotion.
spirits, but bearing in mind their recent results, like, got to be loving life now.
Yeah,
Monsieur Gucci Slippers Rops.
Yeah, and you know, I was talking to, again, I did a whole podcast with Carrigan, and it was interesting how we were talking about, you know, them managing the amount of events they go to, and you know how that works, and sometimes teams will overcommit to a bunch of events by accident because they don't know necessarily if they'll qualify through to everything, and then maybe they do, and then now they're overcommitted. But they try to do it in a way in which they didn't burn out, but they do all their events right at the end of the year, which is why we're getting all these back-to-back events from them. It's kind of working out, we've got to say, so far at least.
Oh, this is a rough round, isn't it, for EG? If they lose this round, it's game point. But what choice do they have but to buy some pistols and leave money in the hole? 5 rounds in a row is not out of the realm of possibility with the full buy coming next round. And hey, they could still win this round as well. Sometimes anarchy is the way to get things done. Only 2 smoke grenades, though, as they fish for an opening kill with these deagles on 3 of the players. So just being defensive now. Got to be careful of pot flash play and an emerging CT. You never know. Woxic has been quite an issue in this game. 23 for 12 is Woxic at the moment. Flashbang won't quite be enough to stop him from taking you out. Well, look for information. Information you shall receive.
Yeah, nice headshot, and now they're charged through the Molotov. Oh my goodness, Ethan with the CZ is making magic happen. He's picked up the AK-47 as well. He's dangerous. Oh, he's got another headshot to his name as well. There's just 2 remaining now for Mousesports. The AWP has sounded off by Hell, so they know that Woxic is there. And there is the flying from Cirque wrapping around the side of the green train. That's going to be a problem as Robs looks to do some damage, but they get absolutely massacred here. What a series of entries from Ethan.
Yeah, and that gives them a lot of bonus money as well for the rounds to come, if they are to come, with all the rifles they picked up. At the end there, Robs' job was to just try and take as many rifles away as possible, and of course try and salvage the round, but maybe that was a bonus target at that point. Neither worked out for them, and somehow EG have used that anarchy to keep Mousesports off of that game point. There's a lot of money to deplete, but the weirdest thing about this is, if EG wins, say, 2 rounds in a row, Mousesports are going to have no money left. So things are going to get super weird. Tarek spots a CT making their way towards the ladder room. Can't take him out. Isn't sure because of the flashbang if he actually made it there. And now they know that he did.
And Frozen.
Oh, he's got a bomb as well.
Yeah, that's going to say, sitting on that bomb now. That's not good. Now Chris J's taking down Circuit T main, now removing some of the T presence there. Tarek will replace that, but he's got it all to do by himself. No one there to trade for him. He's going to go out there and he'll get eliminated. 15-11. Another round for EG that looked a bit hopeless. Got a little bit sloppy there, and they will be punished to the maximum.
Bro fists all around. Game point for Mousesports. The initial short-term targets didn't work for EG, but again, all those stolen rifles give them a much better buy than maybe they should have had in this round. So it is still doable. They've got some decoys which maybe use as fake flashes or smokes. Just the one, actually. On stand, so probably not. 4 rounds. 4 rounds from 4 for EG is what's required. Chris J on the org now, and Woxic has gone from IV to B. Close range, scoped in shotgun. Headshot, of course. Ethan shows an elbow. Not sure if you want to show much more than that because Woxic is just standing here. He's a madman.
Yeah, do not test him. Do not test the man. Yeah, he will absolutely wreck you, that is for sure. Need a flash or something. Ethan might try to just attract some attention. We'll have to see. He's making his way forward.
Oh,
a hand spotted.
Oh, he's gone back!
He's gone back. Well, we tried to warn him, James. We tried.
I think Chris might be flanking while this goes on, but will it be necessary? 2 versus 4 now around the A bomb side as Woxic rotates in to be that 4th man. Now Crush is alone, the stand-in, the only man, and he can't do it. 16-11 for Mousesports. Feels inevitable, but it's a pretty closer score than maybe some would have expected.
Yeah, I think, EG, they did well to recover on that CT side, but the CT and T sides are such different beasts in Counter-Strike in general, and especially on Train. You could really see just a great level of confidence from the T side of Mousesports. They just look so routined and drilled. Everyone's on the same page. The calling was on point from Carrigan as usual. And Woxic as well. We're seeing him just hit his level of form on average, James. It's so good. And that was missing in the summer. But he's really here now. Everyone is turning up all the time for Mousesports.
Yeah, that's the statistically worst map in terms of this matchup for EG out of the way at the very least. If they are to win this, then it has to be in 3. So I think they probably expected that was likely to happen. I mean, they're likely to lose, technically speaking, as well. But of course, they'll be trying to do their best. So I think their best maps theoretically are to come. But what do we think about that one? It's over to Duncan and the guys on the desk.
Similar story to the matchups we've seen, I think, from these 2 teams so far, which is like surprisingly decent CT side from the guys from EG, good T side from the Mousesports guys overall. So let's start on that first half, because one of the reasons why we speculated maybe you pick into Train here is not just because actually the win rate is not that great for EG, but it's more like the fact that where are you going to hide Crush? And in fact, he was right out on the open side, but it didn't seem like that was particularly the problem in the game, right, Mouse?
No, it didn't seem like that was something that Mouse was even focusing on. You kind of think maybe they'll try to abuse the stand-in, see if they can abuse his rotations or something like that. But no, actually, the game plan for Mouse was win the pistol and kind of work that inner bomb site. A lot of post plants towards B. They just threw an exec pretty early on to test Stanislaw, and it worked out. Stanislaw did start holding his own as the game went on a bit, but in the first few rounds, it didn't seem like he was quite ready for as much action as he was getting.
Now, one of the things you actually highlighted before is that we would see Carrigan with this mid control. How was that significant in this game?
It was so impactful. I mean, just the stark difference if we think back on EG's defense. You mentioned that their CT side, it looked decent enough. I mean, 8 rounds is nothing to write home about, but it's not that bad either. But then as soon as that switch happens, you see the proactiveness coming out of Mousesports. It's like the 2019 CT side is all about proactive. Do not let the enemies set up even. And that's exactly what EG kind of ran into, is that brick wall. They could never ever get out of that T mid choke point, and they could never even get out of ladder because Frozen did such a phenomenal job at that end as well. So I think, yeah, you're right, EG, they had a decent enough CT side, but their T side, they just need so much involvement out of every single player to be able to get anything going, and that's just train, right? It just takes so much to be able to get even 1 point on the board, and that's exactly what we saw. I believe EG only won the pistol and a force round with Ethan.
One, yes.
Yeah, Ethan just rushing out T-Con with that CZ. So it certainly was super challenging for EG to get anything going on their T side.
Yeah, obviously, this is a map where if you're going to be on the T side, you've got to have all your protocols down, you've got to have all your utility. Was this lacking then from EG?
Yeah, definitely. Usually you're used to seeing at least some kind of play to get ladder control, but it looked like Frozen was just getting simple kills there. He was getting 1 kill. There was no trade. There was no totem drop. There was no molly take of ladder. Everything Frozen was getting just looked like it was handed to him. It seemed like at one point EG just kind of phoned it in. They just didn't seem like they had the fortitude it took to just kind of push themselves over the edge and just stay composed. It's a little surprising given that this is, I mean, just how little effort some of the space that they were trying to take was like being done with. Yeah.
Now, one of the things about this game I did actually feel for the EG guys was some of the plays Woxic was making. It reminds me of like I remember watching a classic game where Kobe Bryant and the NBA was going off. And in the highlights, the analysis basically was, they said, the problem is if you're the defense, you want him to take these shots. These are bad shots for an